Right.
Oh, yay. So good to be back with you, Meredith, and talking about Pallas Athena and what's going on with her new cycle that's literally starting today, the day we're doing this recording on August 7th, 2025, as Pallas has reached opposition to the sun. The sun is at 15 degrees Leo. Pallas Athena is at 15 degrees Aquarius. So it's powerful activation of that Leo Aquarius axis. And this and when planets reach opposition to the sun, then it's like that means that the sun is setting as that planet's rising, or that planet setting as the sun is rising, and it's like a full moon point for that planetary energy. And so it's like initiating, and it's always retrograde. The planet will always be retrograde. Now, with Venus and Mercury, they have a different story. We won't go into that right now, but they can never be opposite the sun, so it doesn't happen in their opposition, but it does happen when they're retrograde. So we have this new energy of Pallas Athena, the new archetypal energy that will be on in our collective awareness, or maybe we won't be aware of it, but in the collective consciousness for the next year or so, before Pallas begins a new cycle that'll happen in, I think it's in August well, she goes retrograde in August of 2026 in the sign of Aries. So, and makes opposition to the sun in October of 2026. So it's like a little over a year that we're going to be in this cycle with the Aquarius energy overlaying Pallas Athena's journey for the next over a year. I guess that's one way to say it. And so here we are. So it's at the cross quarter too. So it's activating two cross quarter points.
Yeah.
Those are the between points, the between an equinox and a solstice, or between a solstice and an equinox. And actually, it's between a solstice and an equinox for both of them on this end of the cross quarter point. And so that between energy, being between something. And so we could imagine that there's things that are ending and things that are beginning, but it hasn't completely ended and hasn't completely begun yet. So we're in that in-between space. And also it's considered a time when the veils between the worlds are thinner and we have more access to other realms and dimensions at
Mm.
these cross quarter points. So with Pallas there at the cross quarter would be the February cross quarter, and then the sun at the August cross quarter point, we have this massive between energy happening at the at this cross quarter. Honestly, it's pretty cool. And the other thing, a couple of other things to just say a little bit about what's happening astrologically is from the time of this recording, we're going to have then in a couple days on August 9th, we're going to have the Aquarius full moon.
Mhm.
And Pallas Athena is very connected to this full moon. So it's like a trigger point or an activation point or something that's really amplifying the energies that are getting started and just taking them to a whole new octave, a whole nother octave. And the other piece that I'm very fascinated by is that the asteroid Chariklo, one of the centaurs, and was discovered on February 15th of 1997. And literally it was through the U of A, University of Arizona. And
Oh,
Meredith and
wow.
I both happen to be
Yeah.
here in Tucson, Arizona, where the University of Arizona is home. So I just thought that was fascinating. And it's the largest known centaur. It has an orbit of about 62 and a half years. So it'll take 62 and a half years for it to come back to this point. But it's also retrograde in Aquarius, and it is hanging out with Pallas Athena. We're going to focus mostly on Pallas Athena, but Chariklo was the wife of Chiron, and she also had her healing abilities, and she focused more on healing through grace and also healing body, mind, and spirit, not just the physical body or, focusing on an aspect of a more limited aspect of healing, but she was looking at like wholeness, healing, coming into wholeness through healing.
Mm-hmm.
And she's hanging out with Pallas, who's also she her it's about the divine feminine in Aquarius, Pallas Athena in Aquarius. is about the really be able to appreciate the brilliance of the feminine, the masterful brilliance of strategic thinking, problem solving, all the things that we associate with uh, Pallas Athena anyway, and then it's in Aquarius, an expansion of our consciousness and awareness in ways that are beyond. So Pallas Athena and Chariklo will come back together on December 18th at around 17 or 18 degrees of of Aquarius, which is where the full moon is happening at the at that degree at 17. It's like really close to the full moon. So this energy is going to be carried definitely into December when Pallas Athena and Chariklo come back together exact. Now, Pallas Athena is going direct on October 4th and at 6 degrees Aquarius, and it's within 5 degrees of Pluto when that happens. So
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
so there's a plutonic influence that's affected there. It's also, if you've been looking at the USA chart, the United States chart, that's very close to the south node of the US chart,
Mm,
which is at 6:35 Aquarius, I think, and that it's going direct at 6:39 Aquarius.
mm.
So 5 minutes from.
Wowzers.
Yeah, so what of the past can we connect with and as a way to resolve the issues of the past so that we can move forward? And also what are the gifts of the past we can connect with that can help us move forward? So we could look at it from that perspective, and Pallas Athena is helping us with that in her cycle. And uh let's see. So Pallas Athena has been in Aquarius since February 15th of 2025 and stays in Aquarius until January 24th of 2026. So it's in Aquarius all this time. And it went retrograde in June, and it's going to be going direct in October, and it's just there for such a long time. And so this whole Aquarian theme is magnified in such big ways. And I'm going to turn this over to you now, Meredith, because I know you have some brilliant insights to share with us. And Meredith and I both share having Mercury in Aquarius, and I actually have Pallas Athena in Aquarius. So I get really excited and lit up about what's going on with her right now because it's something that feels very personal.
Yes. Yes. Well, I always draw a card before our session, and I usually don't share them, but I want to share this one because, and this is from one of my favorite oracles decks right now from Colette Baron Reed, the Dreamweaver's Oracle. And so this one is, I'll show you the picture. It's all the diamonds in the sky.
Beautiful.
And the essential meaning is limitless potential, um, possibilities unique to you, moving out of limiting beliefs, reaching for the stars and trusting that you will reach them. So, how Aquarian is that? And the archetype Athena, in particular in Aquarius, uh, this archetype manifests that energy, or that energy presents itself. Um, the Aquarian energy is the energy of being a multi-dimensional creator, because Aquarius energy is connected to the stars, to pulling that down from the heavens. Uranus rules Aquarius again, just that energy, that genius energy, that flashes of insight and manifesting by way of thought, because Aquarius is an air sign. Um, so with Athena in moving into Aquarius, and then this full moon on the 9th uh, in Aquarius, activating, empowering, informing, and activating um, this Athena archetype in Aquarius. Um, when I dug up my ephemeris and I looked at everything that's going on. And what I for really got out of it is that um, this is an opportunity in this time that we have, this 11 months or 12 months, to focus. This archetype is going to be focused on the collective, activating grassroots movements versus looking to the top-down authority for permission to do that, that out-of-the-box thinking, that creative, insightful solutions that are there as possibilities, that this archetypal Athena energy, the wisdom of Athena and Aquarius there'll be flashes of that, opportunities to have an insight. And then if you so choose, either believe in the insight or participate on the ground level in creating something, or a protest, participating in a protest, or in some way involving yourself. Because one of the things about Athena in Aquarius is she is involved. She will be involved in what's good for humanity, for the collective. She'll be empowering that. She'll be wanting the energy will assist in new ways, thinking of problems that we have and how to problem solve. So round up change in the collective through information, through wisdom drawn down from the collective unconscious. And then also, Pallas Athena, this archetype in Aquarius, this is revolutionary energy. So this is really break it up and shake it up energy in the way that we think about things, in the way that and understanding that our thoughts are powerful, that our thoughts create, and using that and really using it for the good of all, and protecting the causes, protecting for causes that are organized from the ground up. Inspiring and leading movements, for example, acting for the good of all, holding the knowledge, holding the wisdom about what is coming through the ability to have flashes of insight, just sort of a knowing that nothing in my world tells me that someday, that nothing in my world tells me that it's possible to feed everybody. It's possible to have clean water. But those flashes, those holding the knowledge, wisdom about what is coming, the flashes of insight of how to create that, how to move towards it, and to know that, nothing is ever more powerful than an idea whose time has come. And so Aquarian is the energy, it's thought energy, it's ideas, it's manifesting through thought. I think Demetra George, I have a quote from her too, my fave. I'd love to meet her. I'd actually love to go to Bath and see her school if she's still there. She writes that Athena and Aquarius carries the wisdom of the future. So she carries it. And the symbol of Aquarius, that vase, that urn, and in that urn is the waters, the wisdom that can shower down, and water doesn't discriminate, right? Water disperses as it will. So I mention that because one of the challenges of Aquarian energy is to be a little detached and to think that those ideas are the only ones and the most important ones. And I know. So, and that is the challenge. So making room for, I think, this journey we've been on and talking about Pallas Athena through the signs. She got in touch with her in Cancer, her mother wounds and her sister wounds, and she got in touch with her soft energy, her softer side, or actually seeing through the lens of feelings and feelings of others, and and then she had some time transforming and looking at the places that need to shift and change through Scorpio and finding her deep water power
And
again.
that's the cycle we're just moving out of. The Scorpio
Yes,
cycle. Cancer cycle was just before the Scorpio cycle. So just so you can keep track of, the timeline of what it is that Meredith
yes,
is sharing with us.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. So she brings this archetype right now in Aquarius this next year. Uh, she's informed by that journey, and Pluto and Aquarius will be assisting her. The shadow side part of Aquarius energy is to have a great idea, and AI would be an example. And not to There's many aspects of AI that could be helpful, and there are many aspects that could not. So the shadow side of this archetype in Aquarius would be to only look at, well, I know that it's really a good thing, and it's going to help this and this and this, but but not but only be in touch with that part. So the challenge is, and Pluto will help with this, is to get that bird's eye view and to be willing and open and able to understand that there are many sides and many ways to approach a challenge, and that um, when you're working for the good of all, Aquarian energy, when you're considering what needs to change, um, it's important for the Aquarian energy to not get stuck in its mirror energy, which would be the Leo energy,
Know
and
it all energy.
the Leo energy.
Know it all is what I
To
said.
know what, yeah, and
I
to
know
think,
it all. There's nothing you can tell me. I know it all.
yeah, to think that vision, that insight is the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But
So,
it's really a very shadow side of Aquarius because it's very expansive and its intent is to really be able to see the big picture, the cosmic perspective. And so if it's so narrowed down that it's only seeing as one point of view, then that's the shadow. And oh, and I know, and I'm right, and you all are wrong, and you should listen to me.
right. And so again, with that tension, would be the tension between what is good for the I versus what is good for the collective we, for the personal I versus the collective we. So that's always, especially when you have a great idea and you just think this is the only way, this is the way, this is the one. So we will be learning. We have an opportunity to learn that there are many ways to approach a problem, and many ways to solve a situation. And that if we allow the voices, if we empower all voices to have a seat at the table, then problems solve things that could be solved that we might not even thought of present themselves. So that's part of the collective. We are all in this together. We always have been, and we always will be. So that's the shift that we're in, and that's the shift, the gift of this archetype, spending this time. Athena, who always works for the in her, in the mythology, she protects the city state. So Athena is always concerned with community. So the challenge for her is to be open and to move away from top down authority, and to allow those insights to infiltrate or percolate, um, that multi-dimensional creator thought form energy that this Aquarian energy has, to let that grow from the ground up and be empowered. And so I did want to mention one other thing, that August 22nd, Mercury will be opposing Athena in Aquarius. And again, that's a point that speaks to that energy speaks to what I was just talking about, the tension there between the Leo I know and the Aquarian. I mean, the Leo I rule and the Aquarian I know. Yeah. So there's some ego that is Athena will be and Aquarius will be. Yasmin Berlin says this full moon, you know, double dose of Aquarian energy with the full moon Aquarius and Athena and Aquarius. The the message of that full moon is be real. Find the balance between being real and or trying to um, well, think that your way is the only way, but also it's a time too to move away from trying to please everybody, all but there is no one solution. So to move away from that. So if you're looking and hunting for a solution in your life or in the world or whatever, and if this has got it, this is the one. I'm going to find the one. And then I'm going to try to convince everybody that that's the one. It's not going to work.
One of the other challenges we could say, or the shadow side of Aquarius, is that maybe have a great idea but then get bored and move on and go on to something else and never complete with what that great idea was. And so getting it implemented and getting it in place can be challenging. And because my stepfather was a triple Aquarius, and I watched him do that. He'd have these great ideas, start this business, start this thing, and then halfway into it, he's just got bored and started doing something else. So so I was like, I get that. And so how do we create it in such a way? How do we activate it in such a way that it is still is interesting, it's growing, it's evolving, and it's not just a stuck kind of stagnant kind of thing that's being implemented, but it's something that's going to continue to evolve and grow and really revolutionize our perspective, because that's what Aquarius most wants to do, is to continue to expand our consciousness and awareness into realms and possibilities that we haven't even thought of, that we aren't even aware are possible. And I was having a conversation with some of my priestess sisters the other day, and one of the women was talking about how um, we didn't know until we didn't know about radio waves, but they were always there. We didn't know about the internet, but the possibility was always there. And so, what is the possibility that's there that we haven't known about, haven't had a sense of in our awareness, because we've had a more limited perspective, and this is about how do we expand that perspective and look into the possibilities of how perhaps we could change the entire planet and all of the pollution and all of the crap and all the ways that people aren't being taken care of or supported, and with some kind of revolutionary technology that we're just not aware of yet.
Right.
I think that's what's possible.
Yeah. And to follow up on that, the Aquarian energy does need to get involved and does
Not
need
be so detached, right?
yeah. And does need to be strategic thinking and with the insights and thoughts and that come because things manifestation requires strategic thinking. It requires, oh, and you mentioned something earlier and we were talking, remember we were talking about the underpinning of it all is joy and belief that life is good, right?
Well,
And also even when life isn't good, it's good. I mean, there is a when you're in the time of change, you just say, "Oh, we're in the time of change." When you're in the time of like we are, with things falling apart before they come together, that when you hold that eagle eye view, that bird's eye perspective, that this is the way of things, and we're born in this time because that is what's happening. And so
and
when
we're
if that
here to bring the joy and the love
yes,
and the
yes,
kindness, and to to vibrate with that energy, because that is, if there's enough of us doing that, we can change everything.
Yes.
So
That's the underpinning. So fear is not the underpinning when we're moving into this kind of energy. It's trust in a way that is not innocent, nothing wrong with innocent, but it's trust that comes from a wisdom place, knowing that sometimes things have to fall apart to come together, or there's many other ways. There's many ways to solve a problem, whatever. That no one way is the right way. That you know, I don't always know everything, and that's a good thing.
and being open to the possibility that, that perhaps there's ideas out there that are good, but there's some that are better. And are we going to allow ourselves to work with the ones that really work
Yes.
and really change things, or get hung up on some other thing, because I don't know why we would do that, but that can happen. So yeah.
Yes. Why do I do that again?
Okay.
We also I also was looking at I thought, well, how's Venus? Where's the I was just looking at what the other planets are doing, and Venus in Cancer um, with Jupiter. I think there's a softening there, an assist to uh, to move out of that. Cancer is a water energy, so I think there's a softening and opportunity to assist the Aquarian energies into not being too lost in the thought, and to be able to take that down. Cancer is the mother energy stereotypically, but of course it's so much more. It's the ocean of consciousness, the all of the all. And so if Aquarian energy is bringing thought and from that urn and that water down into the ocean of a consciousness, that would be, I think, the love aspect, the heart aspect, the relational aspect actually of Venus. Um, and there's Jupiter there also magnifying that. So I think we got a little bit of an assist if we remember the things that we were just, if we can remember that we don't know everything. There's more than one way to do things. We're actually not in charge, and things are as they should be, right?
Right.
So,
Sometimes it's hard for us to get our head around that, but I feel like it's true, and it's happening for us, not to us. And
there
there's an
you go.
evolutionary process at play, and there's a divine plan that doesn't necessarily make any sense whatsoever, which Aquarius would like to make sense out of it. That logical thinking mind is like, so where is this taking us, and how is that going to work? And
Yeah,
what are the results going to be? But we don't necessarily know what that is. And I feel like, again, a lot of that is because it's taking us to some place we've never been before.
yeah,
So there's no way for us to know.
yeah. And that's kind of exciting.
It is, isn't it?
We move away from fear into joy and enthusiasm, and
Yeah,
and also, like you said, like your father, you mentioned your father an example, getting busy and making things manifest,
right.
finding
Not
strategic.
getting bored with something and just moving on, but actually seeing it through.
Yeah, get involved, being involved.
Being involved. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's time for the Aquarian energy to say, yes, I love humanity. It's people I'm not too sure of. It's quiet time for the Aquarian energy to say, yes, I love humanity, and I love people too. Right?
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can deal with the people.
I can deal with the people. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can deal
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
So I guess that is a challenge, to over intellectualize and not become involved, whether it's emotional involvement or just inside of you and inside of me. We have such power that we don't even know who we are. If all of us, I'm convinced that if all of us collectively, even our just little kitchen tables in our just little homes, said, you know what, everybody needs to have food and water. It's just a what is. And it just was so clear that maybe we're not on the streets, maybe we're not carrying a protest sign, but everybody took their power back and said, you know what? there are some bottom lines. That energy, that thought form energy, that Aquarian energy, that thought form energy, the power, the multi-dimensional creator aspects of this archetype, really, it's very powerful and very exciting.
And if we remember that we're all interconnected, so that if there are people starving and or not having what they need in order to live a good life, that's affecting us. There's a part of us that might be starving and doesn't have what it needs to live a good life as well. So how are we willing to see that if we're able to create that within ourselves, and hopefully then that ripples out into the rest of the world from a place of generosity and kindness, then we can change everything if there's enough of us. Yeah.
Yeah, and there is enough of us. And the tide has already come in on that one. The waves are crashing, right?
Yes. Yeah. So, wow. So, Pallas Athena in Aquarius, coming up on the Aquarius full moon. Chariklo and Pallas Athena coming together, and they're dancing really close together. They're like within a couple degrees right now. And
Wow.
so they're just doing this dance. They've already met twice, and they're going to meet for the third time in December. And so it's all about healing through grace, healing body, mind, and spirit, healing the planet, healing the earth, healing whatever it is that we need to heal within ourselves in a way that will be lasting and creates wholeness for ourselves and for the planet. And so they're doing this dance. And I don't know, because I haven't really studied it that much, if they do this together very often. But I do know Chariklo doesn't come back to Aquarius after she leaves for another 60 some years. She's in
Wow.
62-year orbit, 62 and a half year orbit. So for this to be possible, Pallas Athena would have to be in Aquarius in 62 and a half years for them to come back together in this way, and three times. So this is, I feel like, is a rare um, convergence of energies that are really just pointing to the power of how we can use the expansion of consciousness to help heal ourselves in the world.
Yes. I would like to, with your permission, I
Yes.
don't need it, but I'm going to give you, I'd like to show the card, the all the diamonds in the sky again,
Yes.
close, because I just noticed that on the bottom there's it's a dandelion, that disbursement. So that diamond in the center, but it's the light is coming. There's a dandelion plant. And yeah, so I just want to show that because all the diamonds in the sky, um, that's all that energy, all that thought, all the manifesting potential, the creative potential. And then if we think of the dandelion, it's the most powerful dispersing plant. I think it's the seeds. I don't know what the velocity is, but when they let go, they're everywhere. So can I do that? Okay.
Beautiful. And the diamonds in the sky also are the stars. And I
Yes.
like how that's depicted
And
there.
there's some little creature down at the bottom, sort of busting something up. Look at that. Isn't that so
Yeah.
cool?
Getting the energy to disperse, which is very air like Aquarius, air like
Yes. Oh
energy,
yeah.
so that it just goes
It's
everywhere and it infuses everything.
it's actually blowing. Look at the little blow.
Oh yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yep.
You know, Colette Baron Reed, this deck, I'll just briefly share about that. She wanted to create her own art, and every night she was, uh, she her higher self, her unconscious, whatever, would not let it go. So she had all these all the diamonds in the sky and all the words and all of it was there, and she could not create the art that she wanted. It didn't translate. And it was like heartbreaking for her because she's an artist and she thought, why can't I do this? Well, she was speaking with a friend who said, there's an artist I want to hook you up with in Santa Fe. His name is Joel Makamura, and he's a block print artist. And the little drawings you show me and what you're describing, I think you need to meet him. And he just he just nailed it. He just nailed all the words that she had about all the diamonds in the sky, limitless potential and possibilities unique to you, moving out of limiting beliefs and reaching for the stars and trusting that you will reach them.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah. Great colors too.
yeah, I love this deck.
So good.
Shout out to Colette Baron Reed.
Yay. And to Pallas Athena and Chariklo and our Aquarius full moon coming up. You might be watching this after the Aquarius full moon, but the energy will still be present, and the possibilities and moving into completely new territory, consciousness, completely new levels of consciousness, and it's so exciting. And hopefully this has inspired all of you to feel how exciting it is. So, bye everybody.
Well, next time.